Yes, welcome back to the ESL Pro League Season 5 Finals. The final quarterfinal is coming to an It's a lot of finals in there. Holy cow. Either way, last quarterfinal of the day is coming to an end. Team Liquid taking on Team EnVyUs. It's 1-1 at the moment. At the beginning of this series, we asked you who you thought would win. You put your votes in the YouTube chat. You can see the results below. Make sure you keep voting. Update those as it goes. Let's see if anything's changed since the first map began. Either way, I guess coming into Nuke for this third map, the first question we have to ask based on what we saw from Team Liquid in their Nuke matches earlier this tournament is, can Envy actually stop that kind of fast pace that they have outside?
I think they can.
They can.
I don't even think...
No, I think the problem here is that we were talking about how Liquid is going to have a good T side regardless, and Nuke inherently is a CT-sided map, so it's going to make it easier for them to rack up those necessary rounds on the CT side. Now, when you look at EnVyUs, they're like much more balanced across playing both sides, right? But whether they will have what it takes to deal with Liquid's fast pace outside, I think if they did their preparation, they should put more emphasis outside, have some setups which will make maybe their upper bomb side defense, let's say, weaker, for example, but that's something that even a single player can do a very good job of holding if you have control of the yard. Yeah,
and it is RPK who's that main top side holder, so leaving him there on his own you wouldn't really have an issue with. I know that their outside pack can consist of Sixer, Happy, and Scream, which is quite dynamic in the way that they can approach that. If I was Liquid right now, if you're going to, go against that brick wall of yard, I think they're going to get the territory that they want, right? The issue is they're going to be dealing with European meta, and the theory there of how they rotate is much more proficient than the way that the North Americans do, right? I know that Scream and Happy are basically constantly pivoting depending on what information they're given, and XMS is at ramps, RPK is the constant in top, and Sixer roaming with the AWP.
And the way Liquid executed this like death ball yard is very important, because you see how they were walking down secret. That's in case someone is in garage and he can't get any sound cue, so they don't know if they need to rotate or not, and that's how you can use that same execute to bait them out later on. And as well, we saw at the very end that Rafters push, which is like some mid-round basically, combinations for them, adjusting to what's going on, just a pop flash and exploding. So you can see that Liquid knows their way around Nuke on the T side, so it's basically will Envy have what it takes to stop them.
Yeah, we'll have to see how well they know Nuke. Tough task. The winner of this goes to the semifinal stage in Dallas, Texas. Yeah. Gonna send it over to your casters. It's gonna be Blue and Dazed.
All right, thank you very much, Moses. The final map, or final match of the day here now between Liquid and EnVyUs. Semifinal spot on the line, I believe, versus North. So definitely want to be winning this one if you want to make it through to playoff in the big arena with a big crowd as well, especially for Liquid, as they are the last team from North America still in this event, so they definitely want to make it through and have that chance to play in front of a North American crowd, especially in Texas, because I imagine that's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get into it, though, as the match is going live here on Nuke.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of favor Liquid. I just think they have a bit of a deeper playbook. Having said that, if EnVyUs did their homework, and they know on CT side that Liquid almost never utilizes ramp, and they use that to their advantage, I think they could leverage that into a victory, but we will see.
So moving directly into the pistol round here with EnVyUs starting off on the T side. Sixer has a very successful vent dive go off in his favor. Problem is, CT's already downstairs waiting for him. Stanislaw counters him out, and he was the only one that went down. The others are still working their way in through Secret. So there is probably going to be a little bit of confusion on both sides here as Liquid try to read what exactly is happening, but they detect it now. Happy, though, picking up an additional kill on a twist here, trades back the loss from earlier with Sixer going down to the ground. Now they've got control spreading out across his site.
And this is one of EnVyUs' strengths, though. Like, they're not forcing it. Look at what they're doing. They're going back to outside to upper. This is such a good play.
They pulled the full rotation, too, so everyone from Liquid is downstairs right now. And EnVyUs are indeed going to walk into just an open bomb site here on the A side.
Perfect.
There we go. Liquid still is trying to figure out just what the heck is happening. They may have only just now started to see it as they lurk back into the lobby and find that all of a sudden there's defenses set up here as they've gone for the plant inside. It's a beautiful crossfire in the lobby as well. The CTs are doing their best to battle outside of it. They do actually get the better of the trade, so now they've got a little bit of a man advantage to work with, but it's a very one-dimensional retake. They don't have anyone trying to push back in through mini. Everyone's trying to push their way in through the door in the shed. Losing him, though, so Scream has to try and surprise now, but he can't get it done, so Liquid pull off the retake anyway, and they're going to pick up the pistol.
Yeah, you expect Scream to pull through there, not really get that kill on the CT's back there, and Nitro wins that duel. That was really smart by EnVyUs. That's one thing that I've noticed about their T side that they definitely have a really good strength in, is just halting and just saying, hey, wait, let's not force this. Let's go back. Let's reevaluate the situation. And having that type of constraint, right, to not just force things like that is a big added bonus. So they're going to go for the force buy here. They don't opt for that third round buy. Just going to force up Tech9's Deegs armor.
So Sixer find himself out in mid relatively quickly. The problem is, though, he's already been tagged down. So Liquid have put up a lot of defense here to try and deny EnVyUs this crucial control of the outside portion of the map as they try to go for a force up into the second round. But JDM just destroying them all right now. Over there towards outside with a scout, and then Stan being able to pick one up here on ramp. It's not looking like EnVyUs are going to be able to get much done here as JDM may have himself a third kill in a second. Tags him down to 31 HP. Doesn't have the full kill just yet. There's the chance at it, although he gets stick this time. Still alive, though, just barely 1 HP, so a little bit unlucky for Sixer there that he wasn't able to snag that kill. JDM is pretty much just going to evacuate that portion of the map and let Elige take up the position. If Sixer tries to push out again, that's an easy pickup for Nitro to be able to find. And besides Sixer, it's just Happy trying to lurk back in. You already seen Sixer go down there, so Happy attempts to wait it out so that he can find a kill on Nitro, but it doesn't pay out. And Liquid do clean up without a single loss here.
Yeah, and they're going to probably save here, I'd assume. They just get a double flash on Happy. Maybe try to go down vent and get the bomb down would be my guess.
So all of them grouping up. Once again, fast control towards lobby. Once again, you're going to be right about that. They try to move in. Molly's in the way, though. They got the bomb down. It's just no one else was able to also get down there, so the bomb is now stuck at the bottom. Flashbang does move in, so the rest are going to attempt to push back out. Scream, finally with 1 kill, but Twist is also on top of the shed. Is probably going to cause some problems for the remaining players. One's been knocked out, nicely found by Twist, the finishing shot into Scream, and then Stan finds the last one over here at the ramp, eliminating Happy. Taking us finally into the first gun round now, where EnVyUs can have that big investment and hopefully start to make some impact here on the T side. They want to still keep their chances of a semi-final alive.
Yeah, and their T-side on Train, I mean, I know they ended up getting, I believe it was 7 rounds, but I wasn't like that impressed by it or anything. You know, I thought Liquid gifted them a couple of those rounds, but their T-side on Cobble was really good, right? So, not sure what we're going to expect here from EnVyUs. Expect those nice trade kills that they had on Cobble, or if they're going to, you know, win rounds because of individual performances and big rounds by Sixer, RPK, and Scream like they did on Train.
EnVyUs now get ready to push out for the outside control. XMS leads the charge as he looks to clear things out. Elsewhere, though, Elige has already found a kill through these smokes, eliminating Happy, giving them a 5v4 advantage right at the start. So they moved in, they managed to get partial control, but unfortunately it hasn't really led to all that much, as they're basically just going to have to back out of here and now regroup in the T lobby way after not able to really translate that into anything over towards Heaven or even towards CT spawn or anything like that. Catwalk push fails, it's countered back out by Elige and it pretty much kills the hits, as now they're going to try to push over here towards the ramp room instead. So getting low, they do need to really start to move in and look to gain this control. So Stan still waiting for it, and they have JDM here as well at the Hell hallway. He just picks up 2 easy frags. Stan does go down without finding anything, which now they're going to attempt to challenge JDM, but they're not actually going right into his face. They're basically just trying to get him to back out of here, and it works. He'll fall back over to Hell itself and wait this out a little bit. Still, the damage that he was done already speaks for itself, and bringing Sixer down to 13 HP has certainly helped the case, too. The remaining players from EnVyUs now move into the site to try and take control, and XMS tries to leap into control, but that does not pan out. Sixer double flashed, can't see anything. They give him time to recover, though, so he's still alive and well at 13 HP. It's just that he only has 10 seconds left now to plant this bomb on the ground. And Twist seems still too hesitant to peek back out, so now he's going to get pushed on by Sixer, but Sixer ends up spraying into the wall and now will swing upstairs where he's going to be eliminated by Nitro.
Yeah, I mean, Happy dying it outside. I think they wanted to just do a 4-1 where they take that outside control, threaten the secret walk, and then go back forward towards ramp. But Elige, who has pretty much ultimate freedom on Liquid, on Nuke, to do whatever he wants, really. Gets that kill, has outside control, doesn't call for any secret rotate. JDM just sitting ramp with Stanislaw. Easy hold for JDM there when he's already positioned like that.
Yeah, and so EnVyUs are now going to try and go back to that outside control, this time obviously with a lot less firepower. And out they go, as you can see there at the top left. Control being gained. Not a lot of resistance here currently from the CTs, as they basically pay no mind to this. They've done this multiple times already, and they know how it's probably going to play out in the following few seconds here with everybody going down towards Secret. Liquid can start to get into positions to counter that up from down below, but they won't fully commit just yet because of what happened back before in the pistol round where they almost lost that due to a very similar strat. This time they are just going to wait patiently. Let's see what'll get swung in their direction here as EnVyUs starts to move through these halls to look for their path to execution. Twists already waiting in decon, picking up a kill there. Scream so far the only one that's been able to trade out a kill. He's now one of the few players left alive. He'll be alive for a very short amount of time though, as he has now been traded out by Stanislaw, leaving just RPK in this situation with the double doors wide open, but unable to spot Stanislaw as he'll eliminate him with basically no response again coming in for the French roster. Liquid just cleaning up house and having a massive bank to support it.
Yeah, I mean, 5-0. They've only had 6 deaths so far. So they just have a ton of money right now. I mean, Twist even staying with the hump. EnVyUs is going to call for a tactical pause. They want to reevaluate the situation, but you don't have much to go off of, right? It's really just the one gun round that you've seen so far. Liquid's probably going to be constantly adapting their setup. So you haven't even gotten their defense to really move yet. You don't really know how the rotate's going to work once you take Secret, once you take yard control and whatnot. So you don't have much to go off of here. So you can't really play off tendencies probably unless you're going by demos, which can be a crapshoot.
Yeah. So EnVyUs so far with only 1 gun round played sit very far behind, basically unable to make any impact at all on their ecos either, which has now given Liquid this huge bank to work with. They have to start working to dismantle it now, as otherwise this is going to continue to be a very, very dominant CT half. Even if EnVyUs starts winning out rounds, Liquid is then going to have the cash flow to buy in for the next 2 gun rounds after that. JDM once again striking first, though, denying the outside control that RPK looked to take over there. Now the remaining 4 are going to look to move in towards ramp, and Stanislaw misses that initial volley, does not want to fight out here in the open, and just barely gets behind a smoke into a safe corner where he can pick up 1 and almost gets the second. XMS now down at 51 HP after that fight, but he does find the kill. Here's the problem, though, again, rotates from the CT side, have already arrived, oh so quickly, and Twist has decon open. Now he's not gonna, actually, no, he does find the angle to stop the play, and excuse me, goodbye to XMS. Elige, oh, he almost got Scream pushing in his direction there. Could have easily taken him out, but no, Happy makes a better man of Elige, knocks him out of the round, and brings it back down to a 3v2. But Twist just spotted Scream jumping down over towards decon, trying to look for that better angle to win out, but not going to happen. Scream dominates in the 1v1, keeping his team in this match, and he may have another opportunity to push it ahead as well. Happy out from the tunnels, has eliminated Nitro, now just leaving JDM in this situation. We saw this so many times in the last 2 maps where Liquid had control of a situation and then threw it away due to individual 1v1s going poorly. Now it's all on JDM to clutch this out in a 1v2. And he's just sitting back right now, waiting to see if EnVyUs are going to go for the plant here on the lower site, or try to swing it up top where he can really punish them from the vents. Just nice and slow as finally has his opportunity to move downstairs and picks up the op too. Spotting one player, hits the shot and just barely escapes. 19 HP still to work with. He'll take it in another direction, or at least make it look like that's going to be the case. Scream going for the full plant. JDM has the time, but he needs to move out right now and take the shot, and he hits it through the life raft. Hits Scream and takes him out of the round. And the 1v2 clutch will go by the way of Team Liquid as they still stay flawless on this map. 6-0 now.
JDM just coming up huge there.
9-0 right now on the scoreboard for him. He's absolutely insane. The only player in his team that hasn't even died yet.
Yeah, and I mean, he's continuing his clutches from Train, right? Did a really good job there as well. Happy with a great lurk, though. You know, he came down from upper, actually. That's how Elige died. While Elige was watching Scream at that vent, Happy goes down the vent behind him, gets that kill. They really smartly bring it into a 2v2. You know, they're able to kill Twist by working together there. They played that really well between him and Scream. Off a great lurk by Happy, but, you know, at the end of the day, JDM just hits some really nice op shots, close range, and ends up taking that round. But, you know, it didn't... That's what I mean by, like, the way EnVyUs is winning rounds. A lot of it's just off individual things. Stan just goes, he sees the bomb, he gets an early flank. It's 3v5 already. Happy's just sitting there above the ladder.
He does jump down and get a kill against Elige to try and start translating this back a little bit. But there's still so much work to be done as they were looking for outside control prior to this, which is why a lot of their players were up on top and not necessarily paying attention to flanks. XMS, nice lurk for him as he moves in, finally takes care of Twist. Who've been a real nuisance from that position previously, but still 2v3. They just got the bomb back under their control, and they're basically starting from square one with this take, but now a man down versus Team Liquid. Start just with a direct play through the door. JDM gonna get smoked out from it as they go for the vent dive into the site, where this is actually a pretty good choice, as they're gonna find it relatively open and safe. And because of that molly, they're gonna find themselves an extra, 5 to 10 seconds here to be able to get in to the site, get the bomb on the ground, and get themselves into some pretty decent post-plant positions. So EnVy may still have a chance yet at this round, despite that huge flank from Stan and Twist that moved in and punished them. They're going to walk right into the Lion's Den here. Happy waits, picks up the first kill. Nice trade from JDM, though, running across, gets the headshot on Happy, but XMS on the lurk is going to move up from behind just where his teammate did. They're not going to suspect him to come from this direction, but they're already defusing the smoke, and I don't know if he realized that he can't find it, so it's going to get defused in the smoke. He'll find the pickup on JDM, but it doesn't even matter, as Liquid once again have stolen the round out of the hands of EnVyUs.
Yeah, they do. EnVyUs going down early. They come back into the round. Once again, in a 2v3 post-plant at lower, kind of favor them in that situation, but XMS kind of works against himself because that smoke on the plant, it's really easy to spam if they defuse back there when you're in where he was at the start in decontamination room, because it's just like a one by, it's just, there's only a little area that they could defuse from. It's really easy to spam them. And instead moves to a spot where it's really hard to spam through the smoke and get the guy, right? So it kind of works against himself there.
And Liquid really going into full control of this matchup now with this many rounds in their favor. EnVyUs getting the buy again, but we'll have to see what they can work with here.
But again, like the way EnVyUs is coming close to winning rounds, it's like off like these players making individual plays where they're getting a lot of kills like as individuals. It's not really like what we saw on Cobble, where it's a lot of trade killing. It's, players going together and taking sites together as Liquid goes through lobby control.
Again.
Yeah.
So it's the second round in a row now where they've been able to push lobby and aggressively get it.
Where'd RPK die at, actually?
That was the lobby push, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So JDM eliminating him from inside for the second round in a row now that's happened. And EnVyUs are going to have to be careful just to take back their own lobby. There's not a whole lot of presence in there from the CTs, but they still have to go at it cautiously because of that.
Right?
Yeah, like by a huge margin.
Yeah. And not only that, look, that flash, it gives them notice that, oh, they just took lobby control, guys.
JDM tried to go back in. He got a little bit greedy and looking for that kill, so Scream's going to be able to punish that, bringing things back down into a more palatable 4 versus 4 situation. Still, though, 25 seconds left. They haven't even started their hit now. They're going to try to start moving into it as they go for ramp room control for a second time. It actually stands right in the open, so gets one. That's really the best you can hope for in that situation, unless he has a crazy spray transfer. Now moving in, there's players waiting for them in control. Twist gets the double, and as you can see, the corpse is stacked up. That'll close out on the round once again in dominating fashion for Team Liquid with an 8-0 advantage, and EnVyUs are going to take their second pause.
Yeah, and you take that if you're Stan. You say, hey, I got one kill, but I saw all 3 players. I know exactly where they are. My teammates are going to rotate. The lobby push, again, works really well. Not only do they make it 4v5, but they take so much time off the clock. It's really easy to pinpoint what they're doing, when they're doing it. Makes it very easy to win those rounds. So Liquid just looking like a much more polished team, in my opinion. Just much more polished, yeah.
That's certainly showing by the results here on Nuke so far, forcing EnVyUs. They just took a pause like 2 or 3 rounds ago as well, so this is pretty quickly them having to jump into another one as things have just not been good. They've been getting close to picking up that first round. As you can see, Liquid's money has gone down a little bit compared to like 4 or 5 rounds back when they were looking at like 15, 16K for some of their guys. At most, they're sitting at around 8 to 9K now. So the money has degraded, but that's still a huge amount of cash for CTs to have at this point. So even if EnVyUs does pick up the round, they're still looking at least 1 more full investment and another like half buy after that currently. JDM once again trying to challenge the outer pressure. This is the first time we've seen this from EnVyUs in a while, and there we go. Elige with a great position up on top of the catwalk gets the double kill. EnVyUs stunned, and JDM with a beautiful shot on XMS as well. Flashed, it doesn't matter. Goodbye to XMS as Scream and Happy are now the last 2 standing. Both are separated as well. Scream stuck at the top of these suicide steps with the bomb, and he's now the last man standing. I think his patience has paid off, as at the very least he has free access to outside now, but he can't go over towards Mini as JDM is still waiting in the warehouse if he tries to push in that direction. If he goes down secret, he has another player waiting for him right over here. I think it's Twist. Yeah, Twist's going to be waiting for him right down here, and he'll be the one to finish off the round as he takes out Scream and puts Liquid up to 9.
In this best of 3, when EnVyUs has 4 spot with Tech 9s, I can't recall any rounds that they've won, and they've done it a lot.
I think they won. I think they've gotten 1 round with it.
I mean,
it was
they've definitely done it a lot. I really can't recall any T rounds that they've 4 spawned 1 though.
I think they got. I can't remember the
One on
specifics,
Cobble,
so I think they got 1 round with it on Cobble.
So not just like just not producing much from those rounds though.
Yeah.
And obviously they invest in it pretty heavily because they do it. You know, most of the time they buy pretty aggressively.
Yeah.
A lot of the time they're getting kills, but it's usually not resulting in round wins.
I think if I'm remembering it properly, with this boost coming up over top mini too, so actually I'll come back to this in a second. And it's Alish again, moving up here, gets another double kill. This time it's against a full gun round as well. Great stuff from Alish. XMS was hoping he'd go back up there so he could trade it, but no, he's gone. Alish really smart to not take additional fights. That's a huge advantage to get within the first, like, what is this, 15, 20 seconds of the round. And now he can just sit back and relax as they have all the advantage they need to win out this one and just put them in double digits.
That's 3 or 4 times now at outside that he's just ran him over and gotten either 1 or 2 kills and stayed alive.
And Nitro now has the chance to pick up an additional player here. He definitely knows that Sixer is probably looking to pressure towards Twinkie, but he should have just spotted XMS there. I don't know if he did or not. But regardless, he goes back downstairs, though, and he's just going to hold him there instead. As RPK, the one lone man on the inside currently, is looking to go on a solo mission to start off and take control. The flashbang was great. It blinded the guy up on top, but there's no push to follow it up, so Alish is given all the time in the world he needs to recover from that, and now get ready to frag out for a second time. There's the additional pickup before he finally ends up going down to RPK, but that kill is traded out by JDM, and now leaves just Sixer alive. He'll get killed by Stanislaw on the flank. They don't even get the plant, so no bonus money. Liquid indeed, up to double digits. Still not a single round on the board for EnVyUs.
Yeah, and all the early round individual, you know, pushes and plays that Liquid is doing, it's just working every single time. Alish having his way at outside makes it 3v5. He got that kill onto Happy, made it 4v5 that one round. On the Tech 9 armor round, he got 2 kills and stayed alive, I believe. On their lobby pushes, it's been successful every round. They always get that first kill. Every single round, they just get that first kill and make and put EnVyUs in these terrible spots, right, where they're just playing from behind. Not only are you already playing from behind because you're on T-side Nuke against full buys as CTs, but you're going down to, you know, you're going down 4v5, 30v5. It's just, you just don't have much chance on T-side Nuke, you know, already being at a disadvantage and then also having bad numbers.
So now EnVyUs will once again look to take another route here to try and turn this half back on its heels, but they're still sticking with the same general types of strategies here. They've got players up on top trying to set up smokes for an interplay. We've seen this time and time again, and previously Liquid has been pretty confident in their ability to just push into the lobby and punish them.
Yeah, I love this by Liquid, though. Just saying, hey, this round, let's just hang tight, let's make them execute, and just chill.
Well, in they will go now, and EnVyUs looking for those entries, but it goes so horribly bad. At the moment, a 3-2 trade moving in. Alish, a little bit aggressive, though, in going to heaven, but Stanislaw makes up for it with the trade. They put in a 1v2 with Scream being solo here, and he doesn't even pay mind to Stanislaw at heaven, so just pops him in the head from the back, and there we go. Another round for Team Liquid. Only 2 stay alive, but with the money they have, that doesn't really seem to matter all that much.
That was so smart by Liquid there. Like, Liquid literally just said, hey, this is the round where they're just going to probably wait for us. So they just don't push.
You can just see the differences in the ADR there as well. Twist and Stanislaw both well over 100, and then the highest on EnVyUs I think was like in the 60s or the 70s currently. So they're definitely struggling, to say the least. Is now they're just going to go for a straight inner rush and see how this works out. Already losing 1 player. Great trade from Scream, however, but Mollies are holding them back for a few moments. The Shed, they can't push out just yet. Twist, they'll give it time to recover for this push, and just going right back into that play after the Molly fade. It seemed all too obvious, and Liquid was absolutely ready for that as they shut down yet another round, and now EnVyUs are going to take their 3rd out of 4 pauses still within the first half.
And the problem that EnVyUs has is, like, they have nothing to work off of right now. This is why a lot of the time when teams are getting crushed, they just start screaming super hard, right? They're just like, I'm just going to fight this guy. I'm just going to fight this guy. You fight this guy. Just see what happens. Because when you're a T right now and you're an in-game leader, what do you have to work off of? Like, you haven't even seen how they rotate, really. You've just been like 4v5 every round. You've been getting completely crushed. You can't say, oh, this strat worked before, let's fake this strat and do this strat. Like, you have nothing to work off of. And this is why a lot of the times, like, maybe we'll see it. We might see it here where they just all just fly around the map and just take aim duels and just see what happens, right? Yeah. Because you just have nothing to work off of.
I mean, that last round, they literally just flew into A's trying to see what would work, and it went horribly wrong. Now they've got AKs, so we would hope they take a little bit more caution with it, but from the looks of things, it's appearing as though they're probably going to try to go for a little bit of fast outside control. Won't be with the whole roster, though. Probably just going to be with 2 or 3 max trying to go in and take this control. JDM, along with 2 more, looking to hold pretty solid control over here towards the door. In fact, they just blow the door open so JDM can try to fight for it. Whereas most of the team from EnVyUs is nowhere near here. They're all outside. Like I said before, looking to try and move in after a bit of a delay to take this control. You can see the smoke set up now, just blocking off all the usual angles, and they just have to clear a few spots out before they can move in and start to take secret control. Even mauling out secret steps too, and that was not too great of a molly, but I think it gets the job done. Thankfully for them, I don't think anyone is sitting on the steps themselves. They're waiting down below to fight them.
It's a really nice route by XMS, though. If you guys are at home watching how he takes that route, it's a really nice, clean. He has the advantage on a lot of those angles. He's just flying out there. That guy CT Heaven, he could hit a nice headshot angle on him, you know, over the smoke. I like that by him.
The position from a Liege is really interesting, too. He's sitting way back in CT spawn right now to watch if they try to go for that Heaven flank.
Protecting the perimeters, him and JDM.
And JDM is way downstairs watching the event. They end up going for the lower push here. And Stan may actually call for additional assistance towards JDM in a second here because he is getting challenged over at the ramp room. They haven't actually pushed in just yet, so he can't give it up. But Liege having some trouble finishing off Scream. Gets that kill, though. And I'm pretty sure Scream's going to be pretty mad about that because you don't often see players waiting in CT spawn. Luckily, they find some luck over towards the ramp room as XMS and RPK hit their entries. JDM
what a shot.
Just running out and destroys Happy. Twist with another pickup, but RPK does trade on the JDM. So it's an even 2v2 post-plant scenario here. Both the CTs sitting inside over here towards upper, though, and RPK challenges it. So now both are going to rush down, but Sixer lining up an easy trade against Twist. 1v1 to decide if Team Liquid can continue unhinged here at 13-0, or if we're finally going to see a response from EnVyUs, and that'll be the case off of the kill from Sixer. EnVyUs will finally get themselves around.
This isn't over. I mean, they could win this, man. They need one. Honestly, if they could win these 2 rounds, their odds of winning this isn't terrible. Believe it or not, like you could have really good CT sides on Nuke.
I mean, it is Nuke.
I do think this Nuke is a lot more T-sided than the other ones, and I think Liquid's playbook is really deep. That I don't think they would blow a lead even if it does go down to 3-12. But I mean, there's hope. There's hope.
Well, for Team Liquid, they're going to look to crush that hope right now by knocking out EnVyUs in this round and then just resetting them for the final round and giving them basically, essentially just upgraded pistols, and umps would probably be their best buy, my guess. But we'll have to see if EnVyUs lose this round from the get-go. They may have finally found their stride, and we'll be able to work off of that. They pretty much just repeat what they did in the last round here. XMS is going to move in, clearing things out, as you were mentioning before, that he does. And the molly, same molly, goes back into the suicides, or the secret steps. EnVyUs have been able to push forward, taking that control and allowing for them to set up for something bigger here in a few moments.
Yeah, Scream gets big garage again, so similar to last round. I mean, the last round that they won, they really spread out a lot, right? There was like Scream underneath Heaven, RPK was underneath Heaven, they had 2 ramp, and then 1 secret, I think.
Yep.
It was
It's all over the place.
Yeah.
But it worked for them.
Yeah,
I think they're going to try something very similar here. XMS and
same
Sixer
shot, I think.
going over to try and take down Stanislaw. He once again mollies it back off. They're not going to respect that molly at all. They just push right into it, and that makes it easy for Stanislaw to close in on XMS. Only the 1 headshot's needed from that. Sixer apparently wants nothing to do with that because he's sitting way back. Scream on the lurk, though, catches a Liege out in Heaven, and JDM missing a shot, and Scream doesn't want anything to do with that fight. He goes up on the ladder trying to focus on the sight battle, but he will go down to Nitro. That gives away Nitro's position, though, and RPK is going to trade, but look at this flank from Stanislaw. Walking right in, denies the plant, back out to keep himself alive and well, almost losing his life to RPK, but stays alive and now isolates RPK in a 1v3. Best odds possible for Team Liquid, but they've thrown these rounds away before. Thankfully, there's only 6 seconds left, so they really don't need to do much, just sitting behind cover and letting that timer run back out. RPK is not going to win this one. Team Liquid, they are going to push forward, and they even kill RPK post-timer. But going to the last round anyway, so we'll just see. Yeah, it's going to end up with $1,000, so it's going to be a pretty poor buy regardless.
I mean, everybody on Liquid has been playing well on Nuke, but Stan really stepped it up. He had a pretty poor cobble, you know, especially on that CT side. They were hitting A and really getting the better of him. But on the CT side on Nuke, he's really stepped it up. A lot of like really tricky plays, good pushes, just sneaking around a little bit, not respecting Scream in that time, in that 2v1 at upper, just went and pushed him, you know, getting a nice flank there. He's really stepped it up the top.
Well, for Liquid, they have their chance at a 14-1.5, and they'll start it off swell with a pickup against Sixer.
Not a great smoke.
No, the smokes, there's a big hole right there. Thankfully, they pop flashed pretty high, and JDM got hit by that, so the other 3 managed to, at the very least, get through into secret. But Twist is waiting. He can spot all this. Elige, nicely done, using the door to give himself a bit of extra cover to find the double kill. Pappy does deny that final frag for right now, but that's the only kill he'll be able to get. So Liquid do indeed get themselves the 14th round. Unfortunately for EnVyUs, they're up against the wall. We'll have to see if they have any hope of a comeback right after this.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Lenovo Legion, Xfinity, ESCA, Pay Safeguard, Mountain Dew League, Logitech G, and Zowie.
Well, it was a well-fought battle for EnVyUs to get to this third map. It's just once they actually got to the third map, things fell apart relatively quickly. And they now sit behind 1-14 as Team Liquid has showed up with huge prowess, possibly because they've been playing on ESCA, where you can play as well with 128 tick servers and great, the industry-leading anti-cheat.
Sixer hasn't moved once. It looks like the EnVyUs screen is frozen, almost. He literally has not moved at all.
No, he blinked. Hold on, he blinked.
He blinked, like that's it. He was like just chilling for 20 seconds straight in the deepest of thought, man. It looked like the EnVyUs screen there was like the camera was broken and it was just still.
It was just
and then the like the Liquid
frozen.
screen, yeah. They're shell shocked that they're down this much, man, at that T side.
How can we lose? Well, let's get into the pistol round. EnVyUs is really their last hope here now to try and stay in this match. They need to win out from this point forward. There is no room for mistakes on this CT side. And Liquid have to be very happy with themselves now as they have all but guaranteed themselves a slot in the semis. The face-off against, I believe, again, I think the brackets would work out that they played North. So Liquid's going to start it off really slow, though. They move into lobby. They've got a few players up on top, like breaking the windows and stuff, but that's it so far. Not trying to move in and take any control. They're happy to run this timer down a little bit before they actually move in to start any sort of execution here. And EnVyUs just squirming about themselves, trying to figure out exactly how this is going to play in. XMS is going to get challenged first, but he doesn't really take the fight. Ends up backing up into the site and probably going to dive over towards, I think he's just, yeah, New Toxic over there. He hasn't gone in, though. He's just hiding outside of the door, so he's still going to be in a really open position. But he can also frag with that spot, and nobody even detects him. 2, 3 kills before going down, and now Happy tries to strike from control. Misses it, though. JDM and Nitro both responding with their own pickups. There's still going to be a man down, but they've guaranteed site control now. They just have to be cautious, as it's very easy for EnVyUs just to jump back down here and punish them. JDM with an additional pickup, though, finds RPK and eliminates him. Evens this fight back into another 2v2. They've regrouped. They've got the bomb back under their control in a moment here, and now they can go for the plant. But the problem is because they held in lobby before and ran that timer down, they don't have a whole lot of time left to actually get this plant going. And this player pushing in from Red is going to cause a whole lot of problems. If Nitro goes down, he can stop this entire round. And Nitro forced to spin and take the battle versus Sixer, but JDM is just stuck in the middle. This is so hard for him to clutch it back out now, but EnVyUs, there's some hesitation on them. They still close it out. However, Scream gets the final kill, and they will indeed win this pistol to keep them in the match for at least one more round.
Just insane shots by XMS. That's the XMS I was seeing in the when they were playing for the what do we even call it when they were doing the overtimes?
The tiebreakers?
Yeah, when they're playing the tiebreakers, like he was just on fire, you know. And I was looking for him to you know, carry that over to today. I don't think he's played his best in this best of 3, but those were the shots that I was seeing during those tiebreakers that I'm like, dude, this guy is nuts. And we saw, you know, a glimpse of that there.
So Liquid is actually, obviously, since they have this huge lead to work with.
Yeah, of course.
They're gonna take it.
You don't need to force here or anything like that. You could just get nice full buy rounds.
So they'll save up, just going for the upgraded pistols here. And we should expect for EnVyUs just to crush this here, but
I like how FaZe does their eco rounds. They just have a bunch of deegs. If I played with like Nico and Rain, I would just, no matter what, I could have like 1,500. I would just be like, you guys just, here's 2 deegs each.
Pick them up, kill 4 people.
Nitro's a pretty good deeg. I don't really look at Liquid as like the best deeg team though, you know.
Oh, now they move in. XMS just going to destroy Nitro though when he attempts to move himself into the site. Again, they're not really too keen on taking the battle there at the ramp itself. He's very easily tempted to just fall right back into the site. Let them take the battle out there. Sixer though spots the play going over towards Hell. Does, like, technically gets 2 as Elige ends up killing JDM and over the course of that battle. He also kills Sixer though. So it's brought down to just 2 from Team Liquid. Scream punishing the rest of them as they try to move in towards Heaven though, and now it is just down onto Elige. Just holding in this corner, trying to stay alive, picking up a few more kills maybe, but not going to happen. Only Sixer falls, and EnVyUs do claim that second round.
More FAMASs, man.
Yeah.
FAMAS is making a resurgence. I'm glad they fixed it where, like, if you TK, you don't just lose all your money.
You used to lose like a crap ton, right?
Oh, you used to lose so much money. It was like the most heartbreaking thing when you take. Now, I'll TK you all day. I don't care.
So into a buy
but look
Team
at this.
Liquid.
Yeah,
They've gone for it here. So they are going to end up with 3 UMPs, 2 AKs, decent utility setup as well. So they can certainly try to work towards something on really either site by executing with smokes here. Nitro just taking a slow, long lurk if they're outside, though. Doesn't even need those smokes to cover for him until he gets right up to the edge of the red box. There's also
I wasn't sure if they were going to buy since they did, you know, invest a bit into that second round. And obviously, you see the effects of it, right? 3 umps. So I thought they would just go for another save. But
EnVyUs seems to have run into it pretty properly. They've already gone up to pretty much all rifles except on Happy, who I think was one of the ones that stayed alive in the last round. So they just want to rifle those rifles at the start. Happy getting 1 through the Molotov, and then it is smoked out second later. So the rest of the team can push through, try to get themselves control of the site. Scream gets traded, so down to a 4v4 we're going to go. Problem is, Liquid's still stuck in this hallway behind the vents and in decon. They can't actually get out onto the site just yet. JDM was going to go for a peek, but Happy just denied him. Great timing on the smoke. Twist, though, finding another pickup here, and Happy is really struggling with that spray. He can't get him. He was going to toss out the HG grenade ball. He might have wanted to, as now he's dead with no kills to show for it, and Liquid shuts down the round, and they're going to push up to 15. 1 more round stands between them and a semifinal spot.
I mean, I love how Happy played that. He played that, honestly, pretty much perfect. This is a kill that XMS shouldn't be losing to Twist there. That's a very CT-sided spot above those stairs. That allows, you know, him to kill Happy as well. But I do like the way Happy played that, right? He just spots, he throws the molly, Stan runs through it, he gets that kill, he spots all the information. That's a round that Envy should easily win and easily take. But Liquid just, you know, stuck there with 4 players. They win that battle in the window room to kind of leverage that into a round win. But positionally, Envy, you know, should easily win that round.
So with Envy throwing that one away, it might have sealed their fate. They still get a semi-decent buy going into what could be our final round now. But early on, are just going to stick into their default positions here. And Liquid's still playing it nice and slowly. Still, even going back to the pistol round, wanting to run down this timer and play it out without risking anything early on here. Hoping that EnVyUs would get aggressive, but EnVyUs have been stone cold passive for this entire half so far. Though we've only seen the 3 rounds played out, they've been very adamant on keeping it to the backside. Sixer is now going to try to change that a little bit, though, as he takes a risk being one of the few players that is working with a pistol, he may be able to take that risk. And moving forward, it's actually RPK that goes into the shed and finds the first pickup for his team here. That's eliminated Elige. He's now got the potential to multi-frag on more of them working their way out of the door. He's got to be careful with this spray, though, as he could hurt himself in the process. But Sixer now working in. Liquid have trapped themselves, and they don't even realize it's Sixer moving in. Only able to get one, however. They box themselves outside of this flank and trade it back better, but Twist now alone. He picks up an additional kill. One more to go, and the new guy will send his team to the semifinals. But right now, he's going to be avoiding that fight, just working himself downstairs and going for the plant there. Scream only just now realizing it as he hops down. And we'll look to try and retake that. Flash right inside will delay Scream, force him into another route, and it's right into Twist too, but Twist in the open for this one, so Scream is going to win it out, and EnVyUs get to stay alive.
Yeah, almost just a ridiculous round by Twist. Really good job getting down the vent, giving himself a chance to win that round even. You see kind of a glimpse of what he's capable of. I've talked to, you know, like I talked to Nitro about Twist a little bit, and Nitro was like, dude, this kid's going to be, he's literally going to be carrying us soon. Like, he is so good. He was so confident in how, you know, good Twist is. And I've seen what he's capable of, like, mechanically speaking. I still think he needs a little bit of, you know, just learning teamwork and how, you know, the team play works a little bit better. And I think he needs, on T side, to kind of be a bit more aggressive sometimes in those lurk roles. But I'm telling you, like, mechanically speaking, Twist is just absurd. Like, he's so good. So good. What is this by JDM? He's literally just flying around. So much confidence.
So outside,
I like it, though.
He's got a guy stuck behind this blue box, too. He just transferred, though, so he's safe behind the alley box now, but he's still going to get pushed on by at least 2 additional players, so not out of the hot seat just yet. That is going to be Sixer, I think, playing from back over here, trying to keep himself alive. Just takes himself into the alley behind the box, and giving him the best angle to possibly work within the situation. Certainly calling it out to his teammates, as RPK will pick up the first kill this time for EnVyUs. Sixer, though, finding himself in a pretty poor spot, will go down without any kills to show for it. And XMS tries to move into support, but JDM is going to put him down, along with the support from Elige, before XMS can pick up any additional kills there. Advantage to Team Liquid for right now, but there's still a long way to go. And look at RPK again. He's made some progress before by lurking outside of Hell, and he could do it this time. Moves in, JDM doesn't even see him, out towards Heaven, trying to go for the second kill, but he just barely misses that mark. Nitro very heavily injured, and Scream's going to move in to try and finish the job here. Nitro just trying to get that plant onto the ground so that Twist can move in and look for the clutch, but I think Nitro just barely spotted Happy, and he picks off his head before he can move up the ladder. Now it's a 2v1 to solidify this entire matchup here with Scream looking for an avenue to clutch it out again. He won the 1v1 before. Now he's going to pull off a 1v2, and already smoked out from Heaven. Does not want to wait all that time for it to fade away, or even worse, take the risk of just diving back in. So he heads out towards mid, where he does have a kit waiting for him. Be able to retrieve that. It just bought him an extra 5 seconds. But Twist is just waiting for him if he walks in here. He did look away, though, and gives away his head, but still, Twist, the new member of Team Liquid's going to close it out, and will send them into the semifinals as they close it out 16-4 on Nuke with an absolutely dominant victory over EnVyUs.
Yeah, you know, EnVyUs, they played much better this tournament, though, than they did at, you know, the Summit.
Yeah.
I thought they would play a lot better at the Summit than they did. So, you know, a lot of progress coming their way. They just got to tighten it up a little bit on, I think their playbook wasn't quite as deep as Liquid's. Liquid just seems like they have so many strategies, right? Like every round seemed different on a lot of their T sides. And obviously on that CT side, they just played brilliantly. And one really good thing that we saw from Liquid too was JDM was being really aggressive and was successful. Like whenever you made it 4v5, his success rate of making it 4v5 had to have been like 80% or more. Like he needs to keep playing like that. He needs to, you know, not just play back and let Elige try to fight people, but make it 4v5 himself. Push, get aggressive.
Well, you guys are going to be seeing Team Liquid in Dallas in just a few days, but for right now, to close out on the discussion with the quarterfinals, we're going to send it back over to the analysis desk for one more time.
Yes, welcome back to the Xfinity Analyst Desk. Team Liquid, a dominant third map. That was something we did not expect to see. 16-4 over EnVyUs in the first half was a 14-1 scoreline. That was incredible to watch. That was from the CT side as well. This seems to be a very well-rounded map for Liquid.
This happens way too often, Chad. Way too often. You need to look.
Want me to start calling on
No,
names
you need
here?
to look at Jason because he throws with eye contact and you're just looking at your screen. Can't do that.
The screen has all the answers.
The thing is, like this time around, we were talking about how Liquid has strong T sides, but they did everything on their CT side. It was just some really great play. Again, JDM able to find openings for his team. He's been really on fire in this match and throughout the tournament, done a very good job. But besides that, it seems like Liquid was just one step ahead of EnVyUs. EnVyUs did try to adapt, throwing some fast strats out there, switching things up, but Liquid was just very much on point individually. But EnVyUs would try to push ramp, to brute force their way in. The player would just fall back, throw a smoke. You know, at that point, with that sort of a call, you're committed. You have to go through that because you have no presence anywhere else on the map. If you just wait, Liquid is going to have more than enough time to rotate and the round falls apart anyway. So just Liquid ready for whatever EnVyUs had to throw their way, and a very dominant performance from them.
I think building on the JDM point, it's good to see Liquid doing work to build around an AWPer, because that's been a struggle for this team over the history, right? We've never seen them have an AWPer be effective. And the nade that Twist did to open Squeaky Door so JDM could pick first into lobby quite deep, and then having that initiative to push further and find a frag when he saw nothing was fantastic. And the other one where they actually boosted Elige onto the silo to go aggressive and go for picks. It was like every time that EnVyUs made an adjustment in pace and thought that they were going to mix things up, Liquid were one step ahead. And it was just a brick wall that they were running into time and time again, constantly in 4v5 situations, because Liquid were finding those opening frags through smokes. They were always in the right position, and it was just terrible for Envy. They couldn't get anything done. Yeah, very proactive on the map. Let's touch on Twist, because he was a guy who had a very slow start to this tournament. Here in this map specifically, 24 and 11, 126 ADR. He's starting to come into his own. I mean, is this kind of, we're starting to see those steps of a young player kind of make that leap? Is this a product of the system that they're not playing in? We're seeing them become a little bit more established tactically, or is this kind of just the potential is starting to be realized?
I think he's just very comfortable in this lineup. When you look at the lineup, you see these like Nitro and Liege, Entry Fagger, Stan, Lurker, in-game leader, JDM, the AWPer, and then you look at Twist, and, well, he pretty much can do whatever he wants in that setup, right? He probably has some spots or roles that he prefers in different situations, different strategies, but he has a decent amount of freedom, but not too much that he doesn't know what to do. He still is directed well enough by Stanislaw. So I think it's a great balance, and you know, he's kind of getting groomed into that star role, and with time is going to show more and more. The thing that's interesting, especially with Nuke, it doesn't feel like he's been put into a position that like you would pick if you wanted to be a star player. It's like the top side anchor, right? Like that's one that it can be pretty boring, because you throw your Molotovs and usually you just wait. Sometimes there's a top rush, you get a couple of multi-frags there. Otherwise you're rotating, or you may be grabbing one frag because the rest of your teammates coming into assist. So to see him get so many frags on that CT half was pretty impressive. I think Liquid still have issues with their CT halves on other maps. We saw on Cobble as well as Train that they needed to be more assertive. It wasn't really their foray.
Now, the question becomes, can they beat North? This is who they're going to be facing in the semifinal. They now move on. They eliminate EnVyUs. One of the big questions we had, it's not can they do it necessarily because we know they have the skill to do it, but can they do it because the map pool, because of the tactics, because of strategy, all the other factors that go into a game, do they have what it takes? Have you seen anything to change your mind that says yes?
I did, to an extent, right? Liquid seemed really solid in most of their T sides, and then obviously their CT side on Nuke looked amazing. The problem they're going to have against North, as you mentioned, is the map pool. They can veto either overpass or cash. Whatever's left in, North is going to pick it, and they are going to, you know, almost certainly be able to beat Liquid on that map. But after that, Liquid has some chance of winning it, like if it goes to a third map, because after the second veto phase, the third map is going to be something that they at least play, because, you know, cash and overpass are maps that really they don't even play pretty much at all. So a chance exists, but it's going to be very difficult, because North is going to have a very dominant map for themselves, and they're going to be very, very competitive on the other two maps, even favored on them, despite Liquid being able to play them as well.
I also don't think North are going to give them as much respect. You know, on those two sides, we said how methodical they were, how well planned out it was. You're not going to have that option, because the players like Config and Magix aren't going to let you get to that point in the round where you can be faking them out, where you can do the executes. They're going to force the fight early, and we haven't really seen how Liquid can adapt to that kind of playstyle.
Yeah, and now let's switch to the other semifinal really quickly before the show ends. It's going to be SK. It's going to be taking on G2. That's
a barn burner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the way we talked about it after the first quarterfinal today was if we see day one SK against day two G2. But I mean, with all those if statements in there, is this set up to be one of the best matches of the tournament?
Absolutely. As you said, it depends on their performance if they show up, but I presume they do at least to a decent extent. When you look at the map pools and you look at the preparation, when you just look at the players playing in that game, the likes of Kenny S, Shocks, Cold Zera, Fallen Phelps first, so many explosive players, and both teams very dynamic in their play. I think we're in for one hell of a game of CS.
Do you think G2 go for the Cobble pick again? Like, do you think, because it's obvious SK are going to ban Nuke, right? So Cobble could easily be their first pick. Do you think they're going to have confidence confidence in going for that again, or maybe they just called SK off in a once-off?
I think they have no reason not to go for Cobblestone. I mean, it is a sort of a thing. You don't want to play the same team on the same map twice in the same tournament, right? But you know, their overpass, Inferno, have looked shaky. Maybe they can go for something like Inferno if they don't want to play the same map. I think Inferno is the best second map they could go for.
Well, either way, that's going to be this weekend. We're going to have a day off tomorrow in the tournament, and then we're going to be in the Verizon Theater in Dallas, Texas. Make sure if you haven't done it yet, you get your tickets now, proleague.com/Dallas. Come join us. Semifinals on Saturday, grand finals on Sunday. We'll see you in the arena. Thanks for tuning in today. We'll see you in a couple days.